Nintendo's known for charging high prices for their games and rarely discounting them.
Why is this? Are they anti-consumer? Or is there a bigger picture needed to find out why?
To start, let's talk about Mr. Iwata's views on dropping prices. He said if the suggested retail price of any and all software is marked down in 6 to 9 months, the customers will learn the cycle and wait for the discounting. This is important to think about actually. How many times have you held back from buying a third-party game because you know it will eventually drop in price? The company doesn't want us to wait until they eventually have to drop the price because why would they? That's just bad business. However, what about when it comes to the actual prices themselves? The company has a very famous Nintendo price, which is $60 or £50. How come pretty much every game they sell is at this price? This has angered many people for quite a while, because even if the game is a 10-year-old remaster, they'll still charge the same price as if it were a brand new game. This is where most people say the company is overpricing their games. But are they really? These games sell millions, regardless of the price. Is it really overpricing? The answer may surprise you.
But if Nintendo really thinks this way, then why were the same games cheaper on the Wii U?
This can be answered with just a simple graph. The Wii U was a famously undersold console. Think about it from Nintendo's point of view. No one is buying our games because they haven't bought the console. How can we increase our game sales with the few Wii U owners we have? We have all this extra stock of games that haven't sold and we need them to be bought. The obvious answer is to have a low price. It probably pained Nintendo to do this, but they just needed people to buy these games. And the most effective way to do that to their customers, who are at the time very sensitive to prices, would be to lower them. That way, they'll increase sales. At this point, selling more of these games at a lower price is more profitable than selling the games at a higher price.
I just won't buy a Nintendo game if the price is too high.
It can be about how sensitive customers are to higher or lower prices. The term for it is price elasticity of demand, but I won't go into too much detail about it. Basically, there are so many Switch owners who want to buy their games that they can afford to charge a higher price. Sure, they'll lose a percentage of customers, but the percentage increase in profit will be much greater. It's about finding that sweet spot where they can sell at the highest price they can without losing too many customers. Another reason for their high prices is cost of production. For example, Nintendo's cartridges are quite expensive to make for some reason. Probably an oversight from the company on that one.
Well, why are third-party games still cheaper than Nintendo's?
Well, as a bigger company, they have to pay a lot more for things, such as manufacturing, labour, factory overheads, marketing and transport. Two of the biggest reasons are marketing and labour. They have to pump so much money into the marketing for their ever-expanding library of games, and making a Nintendo Direct isn't cheap either. Their labour costs will be high too, as they have to pay salaries for many more employees than a smaller game company. Games are the main source of income for Nintendo, not the consoles themselves. I feel like I don't have to explain this, but the company sells way more games than consoles, so they price the consoles with lower profit margins to get people to buy it, then sell the games with higher profit margins, as a person will obviously buy more games than Switches. Oh, and I almost forgot about competition. Who does Nintendo compete against when it comes to Switch games? No one. They can be more lenient with their prices, unlike smaller companies who have to competitively price their games in order to survive the battlefield of the eShop.
Okay then, what about Eshop Games? Why don't they make them cheaper? They don't have to make anything physical.
This is an interesting one actually, as it's not really up to Nintendo. It wouldn't be fair on physical retailers like GameStop or Game. These retailers need the digital games to be the same price as physical, or else they'd go out of business. People would just buy digital otherwise. All in all, while as a consumer it can be painful to empty our wallets for these games, it makes sense that Nintendo as a company does it this way. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.